A little bit mind-boggling. How do you? What do you do in this group so that you have the skills to be able to go teach your parents or your friends some of the stuff?
Being part of this program, like every Tuesday, we'll be given pamphlets and flyers that we can bring home, that we can show our parents, because as a parent you don't expect to learn from your child, but with proof, with facts, they're more inclined to listen. And also we use what we gain from the program and establish it in our own lives, so they see the results and they're more inclined to do it.
We also do invite in guest speakers from different areas, all different areas of health. I really try to take a holistic view of it. So instead of just having maybe doctors that work with premature babies, we try and bring in people to talk to them about teen pregnancy prevention. We have people from like Planned Parenthood and Department of Health. They come in and teach about nutrition. So it's also kind of, listening to where the youth feel the concerns are, and then I take those concerns and I try and find somebody that may have a specialty in that area, and all of this is kind of how they learn the information that they then decide to go and teach.
We have a consensus, or like a sheet that tells us what the schedule is going to be, but if we get into something that Ms. Gordon feels is important, like if we bring up something that we feel is important and Ms. Gordon feels is something that she can help us with, then she'll take it out of her time to teach it to us, because the program is about education. It's about helping us and helping us help teens. We're peer educators, so in any way that Ms. Gordon feels that she can help us get knowledge to help someone else, she'll help us. So if today we're supposed to learn about premature babies, and once we get there and we say, what, is being obese going to give us a risk of having a premature baby, then if we don't know information like that, we ask Ms. Gordon, she'll bring up the topic and she'll help us out. And if she can't help us that day, Ms. Gordon will find a way to get the information to you, because we give her all of our information so she can email us and help us out, so that way we can have all the information we need.
Okay. Now, you brought up peer educators. What is a peer educator? Where do you, how do you develop skills as a peer educator, and where do you go as a peer educator? Do you have formal groups that you go to, or?
No. So to be a peer educator, basically you usually have a workshop where you are educated on the topic that you will talk to your peers about, and once your supervisor or boss feels that you're informed enough and that you could go out there and you start to tell teens about, and you explain to them how certain things affect your life, because teens are more inclined to listen to somebody of their age than to listen to an older adult saying, yeah, well, you can do, if you do this, this happens. Because nowadays teens are, I'm here and you were there, so that's two different times, so how will we have the same outcome? So we feel that teens are more inclined to listen to us.
Maybe.
Yeah, I agree and disagree, if I might. In that certainly you have plenty of times when an adult is lecturing to you, but don't some of the people who are your same age say, "Come off it! Who do you think you are to tell me?" You're nodding. You want to share what your thoughts are there on?
No, because I completely understand what you're saying. As a experience of my own before even joining Healthy from Birth for Life, if someone my age starts to tells me something, I'm like, you're my age. What can you tell me? You have never been there, and it's kind of hard to decipher the difference, because if an adult starts to tell you something, you're like, what, you've never been there, and if someone your age starts to tell you something, you're like, come on, I don't want to hear it. But what I guess Michael's trying to say is, it's a little bit different hearing from someone your age, someone who is going through or going to go through what you're going through at the same time, because a lot of adults can tell you it's unhealthy to do this, it's unhealthy to do that, but a lot of adults are not doing what they're telling you that you shouldn't do. A lot of adults aren't, having the foods that we can have now, because some of the foods and things that we have now probably weren't there when they were there, and that's just how some people feel. And it's like, all right, well, he's my age, and if he can go through life resisting the temptation of doing this, and look at him now, he's not obese, he's not overweight, he's a peer educator, and he's a role model in society like we all try to be, then maybe I can go along and do the same thing.
I think also what makes their message so well received by their peers is the way in which they do it, because they're not going into the community and lecturing. And, we're not in a classroom lecturing anybody. We have walkathons. We're hosting a 3-on-3 basketball tournament. We try to look for fun ways to get our messages out. And so even if, we just have a table at a health fair that, that Mount Vernon is having, the Dole Center has a few health fairs a year, so we participate in those. And just them being there and being enthusiastic about the message, their friends and their peers that come in see this congregation of people their age. Oh, what's going on, at that table? And that's an opportunity to pull someone in. So I think it's also the way that they give the message.
Now, I think I read that you all get a stipend for participating in the program.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you really do to deserve to be paid?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I also,
Surely.
Go ahead, Jim.
I also feel that by getting a stipend is also teaching us how to use money wisely.
Oh.
As we get money, we could put it towards something healthy, stuff that we could make us healthy on, like healthy snacks. Healthy snacks. We could buy healthy snacks and stuff. And it's gonna help us with our future. As we getting paid, we know how to spend our money wisely, and not on junk food, but healthy snacks.
I also think about the fact that the fellows, and I refer to them as fellows, they put in work. They really do. And for someone that's been in the program, especially like James, they have well over 100 hours of community service. And their faces are well known in the community. And I think about professionals that, health educators that put in that same kind of work who get paid for it. So I figure, why
Now,
not?
when you say community service, what kind of, for instance, what kind of community service have you been involved in?
We done walkathons for breast cancer, for AIDS, for premature babies.
Now, let me ask a sort of a basic question. What are you guys doing here? Aren't you embarrassed to tears to be on a program that is called Future Choices and it's really about reproductive health? Isn't that girls' work?
Well, basically, I feel that in this line, in this day and age, there's really no such thing as girls' work or man's work. And there's also the fact that no matter how long in the future, how far in the future you go or how far in the past you go, it always takes 2 people to make a baby. And I feel that in the future, when my spouse is pregnant, I should be able to say, let me help you, because I know that you need to eat healthy, so I can eat healthy with my spouse, so she doesn't feel funny. She's eating all this weird food with these vitamins and everything, and I can just partake and I can assist her to make sure that my future child has no defects or prematurity, and I can ensure that it also has a long and healthy life.
I also, personally and on behalf of the Lower Hudson Valley Perinatal Network, I feel like it's important that we involve men and boys in perinatal health, because it's, LHVPN kind of focuses on letting men know you have a part in your wife breastfeeding. You have a part in raising your child. You have a part in that prenatal care for your child. So I feel like that should apply to preconception health too, and to let youth know at a young age, this is something that you will be responsible for, so that we're not looking for the father, when the mother has had a child, you always, well, where's the father? How's the father involved? It's important to let young men know that they have a role in preconception health way before they come to actually have their own children.
Also, you got to look at it. This is my life, and this program is helping me with my life.